Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 6. All right. You can see the finish line. It's right out there and it's getting closer. Day by day by day, you're getting closer to the finish line. Week 6, week 7, week 7.5. We'll have more to say about that 7.5 next week. But really, 2.5 weeks, technically not even 2.5 weeks left. And then you get your first term under your belt, which is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So if you've gotten to this point, pat yourself on the back. It's not easy doing what you're doing. It's not easy to join in, this kind of community of learners that you've never met before, and get into an online program, and you're not totally sure what's going on with it, and to get into these classes where you don't really see your professors, except me, because I do all these nifty videos, right? Yes. Um, but it is a challenge. You recognize that. It is a challenge. So if you've gotten to this point, even if it's been a struggle, that's a good thing, okay? And if it has been a struggle for you, understand that I am here for you. I want to help you out. I can accept late work and I can work with you. Let me know though, okay? Call me, email me, text me. You have my information in Blackboard, so please use it. So, where are we going in week 6? Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break from Microsoft Office, not completely, because there is going to be an Excel assignment. More on that in a minute. But we're going to get into browsers, what they are, and why it matters. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you're using a browser right now. It's pretty much impossible to watch this video without a browser. It's one of those pieces of software that we use without even realizing what it is. So the assumption that we often have is you click on this icon and that opens up, a window to the magical world of the internet, kind of like it's Narnia or something like that. Not the case at all. A browser is more nuanced than that. Now, this does require an understanding of what the internet and the web are, and they're different things. The lecture will talk about that a little bit, but I'm going to do a video just on that, the internet and the web. Better understanding those things are going to give you a better understanding of what a browser is and what a browser does. So just for right now, kind of giving you a little kind of basic understanding, browsers usually do two things in particular, but they do a lot of other things too as well. One is they're going to request a website from that website's server. Okay, so when we talk about the internet and the web in another video, we'll be talking about your network and servers and things like that. And so your network, the computer network you're on now, probably at home or at a local library or something like that, needs to basically get permission from another network to view that web page. All right. And so a browser does that. A browser does it seamlessly. Behind the scenes, you don't even realize it. Very, very, very quick. Very, very quick. Another thing that a browser does is it translates. Okay. So all of the information on the web, all these web pages with all these really good videos and images and infographics and all sorts of stuff, it's all code. It's all markup language. HTML is something you may have heard of before, hypertext markup language. XML is another one, extensible markup language. This is what makes up the web, okay? And this is code. You can actually go to any website you want and right-click and then go to view page source or view source, depending on the browser you use, it may be something different. And up pops this window of just code. That's actually what your web page is, okay? But you can't read that. You can't read that stuff unless you know HTML. And I used to work on this years and years ago, so I kind of know a little bit of it, but I've forgotten most of it. But the browser actually will translate that immediately for you. And so you don't need to worry about kind of reading the code. And so videos come up right away and all sorts of other things. So the browser does those kinds of things, those two things in particular, but it does so many other things as well. It can collect information for you. That may be a good thing or a bad thing. We'll talk about that maybe at a later date. But it can also work very well with web security, keeping your information, your browsing data, other things safe when you are surfing the web. A lot of things that browsers do. What you're going to be looking at in the browser simulation for this week's discussion board is 3 browsers in particular. This is going to be Safari, Firefox, and Google, probably or Google Chrome, the most popular browsers really that are out there. And you're going to be comparing and contrasting them. Which one of those 3 do you use? And if you don't use one of those 3, but you use, Microsoft Edge or something like that, by all means, talk about that one. But we're focusing really on 3 in that simulation. And then talk about how it compares to the other ones. Why do you choose this one versus that one? What do you think this one offers that the other one doesn't? Get into this a little bit and look at your browser of choice and really look at some of the options, some of the features that are available there, because those are some of the questions I'm going to be asking you, and what makes this your browser of choice. Now, in the simulation, you've got these three characters who are kind of pushing their browser, and they're really looking at those positives. So a lot of what they say, while true, is a bit kind of seen through a certain kind of lens. Okay, so just be aware of that. When they talk about Firefox and how it's really dangerous because anybody can change the code, that's technically not true with Firefox. Or Safari is just into it for money and they don't care about anything else. Not really. So you've got these cheerleaders kind of promoting their browser of choice, and you really have to start to use those critical thinking skills to kind of navigate through all the stuff that you're hearing there. So that's going to be the discussion board. We're going to run another discussion thread, at least one. I know you guys have really enjoyed these added additional discussion threads, so we'll do this again. You're also going to do an Excel assignment, very quick Excel assignment, but this is one that's going to kind of challenge you on charts and graphs. Pretty basic, really pretty basic. Students usually do very, very well with this one. That's going to be another thing we're going to do to kind of wrap up our time with Excel. And then there's going to be a reflection on the browsers. And with what you know now, are you going to change your browsing habits in any way? So that's going to be the reflection. So lots of things to keep us busy this week. As always, folks, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything at all, you know where to find me. Thanks, folks.